I need to get there somewhere. Hey, look at me.
Yes. Hi, my name is Dorrene Martin. Today I will be giving you an informational speech on the curse of the Cubs. Who would have thought that a sweet, friendly goat could be the source of such heartbreak and despair? Well, today I will tell you the story of such a goat. By the time I'm done telling you the story, you too will believe in the curse. My source of information are Cubs.com, ESPN.com, and the majority of the information will come from the website of the world famous Billy Goat Tavern. This is an actual tavern that has been in business for over 70 years. The Chicago Cubs were once a powerhouse. Beginning in 1876, they won 6 of the first 11 championship titles. They posted a record in 1906 with 116 games won. The following year, they would win their first World Series. The Cubs then went on to win 4 pennants in a 10-year span. They would win 2 World Series, 6 championship titles, and this would all come to a screeching halt in Game 4 of the World Series in 1945. On October 6, 1945, the Cubs entered Game 4, leading the Detroit Tigers 4-2, and needing to win only 2 of the next 4 games. A local man, known as William Billy Goat Cyanis, owner of the Billy Goat Tavern and a true Cub fan, decided to buy 2 tickets to the game. He brought along his lucky charm, his pet goat Murphy. At the entrance to the park, the ushers denied him entrance, saying no animals were allowed. Billy Goat appealed to the owner, P.K. Wrigley. Wrigley said, "Let Billy Goat in, but not the goat." Billy Goat asked, "Why not the goat?" To which Wrigley answered, "Because the goat stinks." According to legend, Billy Goat threw up his arms and said, "The Cubs ain't gonna win no more. The Cubs will never win a World Series as long as the goat is not allowed in Wrigley Field." The Cubs were now cursed. The Cubs lost Game 4 and the remaining games of the series, getting swept at home and from the World Series. Billy Goat sent Wrigley a telegram stating, "Who stinks now?" For the next 20 years, for the remainder of Billy's life, the Cubs would finish each season at 5th place or lower. Now that we know why the Cubs are cursed, I'll talk about some of the strange occurrences since the curse was placed. In 1969, a year before he passed away, Billy Goat finally felt satisfied and claimed the curse is lifted, but the goat was still bitter. The Cubs won the first part of the season and coasted into August with a commanding lead at first, but by the end of the season, the Miracle Mets knocked the Cubs out of contention. In 1973, Billy Goat's nephew and new Billy Goat Tavern's new owner, Sam, brought the goat, who's Murphy's relative, and his name is Socrates, to Wrigley Field in an attempt to lift the curse. The goat arrived in a limo, given a red carpet entrance to the park. The ushers at the entrance again denied the goat. The Cubs saw their first place lead wither away to another nothing season. In 1984, this is the year I was 17, huge Cub fan, loved Brian Sandberg. The owners finally allowed Socrates admission to Wrigley Field. Sam and Socrates finally walked the grass of Wrigley. The Cubs won, and won, and won, taking the first 2 games of the National League Championship. They just needed to win one of the next 3 games at San Diego to finally reach the World Series. Sam and his goat waited for the invitation to go with the Cubs to San Diego. The call never came. After losing games 3 and 4 to San Diego, the Cubs were winning the last game when a strange sequence of events led to the Padres sweeping the Cubs right out of the chance to go to the World Series. In 1994, the Cubs started winning again. However, they started their season losing 12 home games in a row, their worst home start in history. In an effort to stop the bleeding, Sam and Socrates went to Wrigley, only to be denied again. You'd think that these people would get it by now. With the crowd chanting, "Let the goat in," Hall of Famer Ernie Banks escorted Sam and his goat into Wrigley. The Cubs won the game 5-2, ending their worst home start ever. There are more examples I could give you, and many more years I could show as an example. But here's the most heartbreaking thing to date. The quote from Cubs.com. What went wrong? Not much, until the Cubs had to face the Mets in the NLCS again. In all of my years of being a Cub fan, I had heard of the curse. After researching for this speech, I have come to believe in it, and I hope I have convinced you too. Thank you.